everyone, it's Kate from the Forward Line. I am back this week with the Sew Down. This is our monthly roundup of stuff that we've seen, read, listened to in the world of sewing that we think you guys will find interesting. I've got some really good stuff this month. So before I get started, everything that I mention will have a link down below. So just head there, and if there's anything you want to read or any of the articles I mention or podcasts, everything will have links down below so you can go and check everything out. So I usually start this with a couple of designers that you may not have heard of. The first we've got, we've just added to the site, they're called Maison Fauve. They're a French pattern company. They have got they've got 29 patterns. I really like their style. I think you guys will like them too. They've got lots of really great things for summer. Everything's quite simple and it's got that sort of the nice details that the French pattern companies tend to have. So I will show you some pictures so you can get an idea, but do go and have a look because there's a really beautiful selection of patterns and I think you guys are going to love them as much as we did. The whole team got really excited when we added them, which is always a really good sign. So yeah, there's a kind of full range of everything in there, dresses, jackets, you name it, it's in there. So yeah, go and check them out. The next thing we've got is not a pattern company, it's Kylie and the Machine labels, which many of you have seen and loved. We've got their labels on the site already, but lots of people are asking us for, there's a tin where you can store them in so that they don't get lost in amongst your sewing detritus. So we've got that now, so if anyone who wants that, it's there and available so you can put all your amazing brightly coloured fab labels in the box and store them all together. So that is that. Right, cool stuff. So there's something that's happening in London that I thought was worth mentioning. It's very much up our street. It's called Fashion Surgery, Redesign Your Unloved Clothes, in its event on the 18th and 19th of June at the Royal Geographical Society, which is sort of near the Albert Hall, so South Ken sort of side of London. So you go there and kind of learn how to repurpose things and have tips on your environmental footprint within the world, and it looks like it should be a really interesting sort of event, and I thought it was definitely worth mentioning. So anyone who's in London or will be in London or can plan a trip to London, this might be really nice. It doesn't say the cost, I think it might be free, so it's yeah, go and check it out. It looks like it should be really nice. A couple of articles, nice things to read. This is an article about Edith Head's costumes, who was an amazing, legendary Hollywood costume designer, and this is a really fab article about all of the stuff that she made. And I hadn't realised, like I knew she'd done some of the really iconic films like White Christmas, but I didn't realise she'd done so many. So yeah, go and have a read because there's loads of lovely pictures and stuff. It's really interesting, a really kind of big in-depth article. Next up, another exciting article. It's on Vogue. It's about many of you may have heard that ABBA are going to be doing a kind of residency tour in London, and they have got these amazing like they're called avatars outfits. So their outfits are going to be projected onto them while they're performing. It's really, I think it's a really interesting concept. So it's like bridging the digital and physical world, and I think it's going to be amazing. It's a really interesting concept, and I love mixing technology and fashion. I think it's really interesting. So yeah, that's definitely worth going and having a read because, you know, I mean, it's quite an interesting mix with ABBA as well, to have like a cutting edge. It's, yeah, so it was really interesting article. Go and have a read of that. This was something that I thought I read this month. I thought was really interesting. It's an artist called Joanna Chumali, and it's about her photography. She her work, she takes photographs, but she incorporates embroidery into her work. And if you haven't heard of her before, she's exhibited at the V&A and stuff. Her stuff's really beautiful, and I just thought it was worth mentioning because there's a whole article about her and you can see some of her work, and I found it really interesting, so I'm sure you guys will too. Last thing on the reading front, the Fine Cell Work Threads of Time book is out, and it's celebrating 25 years of Fine Cell Work, who is a charity that we've supported in the past. The book is a limited edition, and I think it would be a really nice thing to have and own. They always do really beautiful stuff. So go and check that out, because it's you can order it now, and yeah, it'll be good. Stuff to watch. I've got a few things to watch. This is an interesting, it's only like a couple of minutes long. It's about a quilt that they are sewing that is going to be kind of the size of Grenfell Tower. I thought it was an interesting concept, and it's to remember the people who died in the tragedy, and I think it's really nice, and it's just a couple of minutes, so go and have a watch of that. A couple of other things. These are things that Louise has said that I haven't watched yet, but I'm definitely now going to watch because they look fantastic. The first is a series on Netflix called Russian Doll. It's about a woman who gets trapped in a surreal time loop, and apparently it's got really, Louise was saying, it's got incredible costumes. So this is definitely worth going and watching if you don't have loads of plans over the weekend. This is something nice to watch. The next thing is something that Louise has watched and I've also seen, which is really good. It's on Netflix again. It's The Mystery of Marilyn Monroe, and it's got like unheard tapes of her talking. It's really interesting, and it's all kind of surrounding her death, and yeah, I really enjoyed it, so I'm sure you guys will too. The last thing I've got to watch is something that I haven't watched yet, but it's on my list to watch. It's on Channel 4. Davina McCall is talking about sex, mind and the menopause. I think it's something that's a really important topic that isn't spoken about enough publicly, and I think we should all go and watch it because I think it will be great, and I know like Davina McCall always does good stuff, so that's on my list to watch actually, hopefully today. But yeah, I think that would be an interesting watch, so anyone who wants something, that'd be good. Podcasts, right, I've got 3 podcasts for you. The first is one that I'm actually listening to at the moment and really, really enjoying. It's Unreal, a critical history of reality TV. So each episode they do a deep dive into a reality TV show and the sort of demise and fall, and they interview quite pivotal people who, so for example, the first episode was Big Brother, and they had the producer of Big Brother alongside some of the kind of core kind of star contestants over the years, and it's really interesting. Anyone who has watched reality TV over the years, I think it's well worth listening. I really enjoyed it, and each episode is a different topic, so you can kind of pick and choose ones that interest you, but I'm binging the lot. I'm really, really loving it, so that's my favourite thing I've listened to this month. I've really enjoyed it. This was also something that I listened to this month, and Louise sent it to me and she's listened to it too. Sewing machine compositions with an interview with artist Nicole Cook, and it's making music using a sewing machine, and she's an LA based artist, and it's really interesting, and she's talking kind of how she does it and using, you know, it's really good. Go and have a listen to it, because I'm sure many of you have not heard music using sewing machines. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed this episode, so go and have a listen. And last but not least, this is something that Louise and I are both listening to. Again, we seem to be very in sync with our podcasts. It's a kind of deep dive into Dolly Parton. It's called Even the Rich, and each episode focuses on a different kind of part of her life. And if you love Dolly Parton, then you'll really enjoy it. It's really well produced, and yeah, I'm loving it. So I'm about halfway through. Yeah, it's fab. So that is it from me this week. I hope that was good. We'll be back soon with another video. Have a lovely, lovely weekend.